It says like Jesus would turn and look at him on the third time. As soon as it comes out of his mouth, they lock eyes. So he's like caught, right? And it said immediately he remembered and repented. Not there. He didn't say, Lord, I'm sorry. He went on back so that he would not be found out, left in seclusion, left him by himself. Yeah. How, when, where do you know you've done wrong? And instead of them fixing correcting the problem, making it better right now, you want to passively be like bowing your head and walking out the door. To insult, they have 2 knives. And Jesus just got stabbed in the back with one of them. Not only that, he is getting beat by the prophets or preachers he would be enabling to preach. And they're looking at God himself saying, what you preach is not Bible. God is not like that. God wouldn't say those things, wouldn't do those things. And to the disciples, he says, that's enough. To the people in church, the priests, the ones that's beating him, the guards, the Jews, he says, from now on. So the relation between the two is you have to be so in tune with God, not only right here, but for where you're going in your future, is that I've had just about enough of these kinds of situations. So you would be in a place where I've been trying to help people who only harm me. I done fed folk who, when it comes down to it, said, F me. I have forgiven people who come to cut me, steal from me, rob me. They would be looking in my face to make fun of me, but lying to me. Where you can be dependable, but have nobody that you can depend on. He is in court, in trial, looking for a character witness. And Peter is like, I don't know the man. And Jesus said back then, you just got 2 shots. I can't hear nobody. He said, how many knives do you have? Peter answered. Not John, not James, not Judas. Peter answered, 2. That's about all I can take. That's enough. So the first one is the denial. I don't know him. How many times do we put ourselves in a position where we limit the power of God because we don't want to look crazy standing waiting for the miracle to happen? You know what I'm talking about? It's like you say, I believe God to pay it. But it looks crazy me standing in the line to check out at Walmart with no money but a basket full of groceries, checking them out. That we want to believe God in the unseeable, as long as it's not embarrassing, as long as people not really looking at me, as long as you do it, show up and show out in this way, then we believe you today. And if not, then I have to bow and leave because I'm just like everybody else. I'm just trying to fit into the crowd. And so Jesus is in a place where he needs him, and Peter's in a place where I just want to see what's going to happen. I I want to see how you going to get out of this one. I mean, you done came from a place where you done raised people from the dead. You done healed folk. You done set demons free from. You done calmed the waves and the wind. You don't need me. And sometimes I feel like we get in our own way of seeing the manifestation of the natural that God can do, because we want to help God out, and we want to become the unlike Peters and show up and be like, I can help God get free from this situation. And so many times we would be suppressive in what we obtain in God's favor, because we step in and put our foot in it and be like, I can take care of this. So we become the character witnesses that would free him from saving you. Peter comes in, he becomes somebody who's able to testify he ain't done no wrong. Now notice, Peter is a fisherman. Peter has status, had his own boat. He's known. You know how I know he's known? Because they're like, you Peter, you was with Jesus, not the other way around. Not, that's Jesus. I don't know who he is, but I think he was with him. So they know him. It's this new guy that becomes the problem. That's why Jesus needs Peter, and Peter don't need Jesus right now. And so they come in and they're like, who hit you? And the real answer is that Jesus don't want to say. Because if he told them it was Peter, they wouldn't believe him. And if he asked them, ain't no way they could tell him. And he says, this is the last time. So what happened to the next war, right? Jesus is on the cross, puts his head in the locks of his shoulders, and gives up the ghost. He says, watch this now, right before he died, what did he say? He said, it is finished. Then they stabbed him in the side, but it was after he died. You won't get this chance again. You done caused enough pain, enough hurt, enough heartache. I'm not even talking to people now. It's that you began warring in the spiritual. People coming at you trying to get to your flesh, but see, when you've moved on to I'm finished with them, I'm finished with everything that they would say, what their doubt is, what their non-positive, where you would put yourself in a place where I can only thrive if you see it, if you say it. God says, I'm finished with all of that. Now I began fighting in the spiritual. It's that you can take jabs at me right here. Is that those things are none effective of me. I'm finished with that. I'm finished with every doubt, everything that would keep me in this place right here. I'm finished with the bad days and the sometime. I am finished with anything that does not look like I'm coming out. I'm finished with anything that will keep me in a dark place. You have to be, I'm finished with it. I was finished when I said it was enough, but you didn't hear. I was finished when I said that from now on, and you ain't get it. I'm so finished in it, I done died to everything that could care if you believe me or not. I've died to the concern of trying to save everybody around me. I done died to trying to bleed for everybody and heal everybody. I done died for trying to run for everybody. You have to die to everything that is draining of you from being at your truest potential. He says, I am finished. And gave up. And that's like the first time in scripture I see for depiction on tonight. Jesus being like, it's okay to be done with this stuff and give up when you had enough. It said, I'm dying so you don't have to. It said, I'm giving up so you can see how to give up. How you can give up situations that will be taxing you. How you could give up draining relationships. How you could give up on children that you love, but they're draining you from where you need to be health-wise. Their home becomes toxic. He said it's okay to give up anything that is toxifying the environment. It's okay to stop people in their tracks. You know how I know it's okay? Because he doesn't leave you where they would lay you. And many times you have to be quiet while they beating you. Be quiet while they stabbing you. Be quiet while they denying you your rights, your status, what you know you're due. You've been the mama. You've been there. You've been the wife. It's that they would be denying you not a privilege what you do. And you got to be quiet in it. You got to be quiet and let them bury you and say it's finished. Say it's over for you. Say you'll never get up from here. Let them bury you. Let them bury you in their doubt, their wayward projection. Let them bury you. Let them bury you and say that your dream will never come to pass, that you'll never build it. You'll never have another one like that again. Let them bury you. Let them bury you and say you won't have any kids. Let them bury you. Let them bury you and say you ain't going to get another wife. Let them bury you. Let them bury you. People good at that. Let them bury you because God said the only way I could grow you is I had to let them bury you. But they didn't understand. They didn't know. They didn't see. They didn't realize you were a seed. I can't hear nobody. They didn't realize you were a seed. And God was just waiting, grooming, crafting. He had to water you. That's why they would beat you so that you'd sweat. And that becomes what starts the process. They had to put the rock in front of it so that it could have covering and protection from, so it would be in the earth. They had to do it this way and wrap you up in it, because that would signify the dirt that is what is springing, what you're springing out of. They had to do it this way.